Hi there.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Joe.
Oh, Joe, nice to meet you too. Welcome, welcome.
I'm gonna have a seat.
Oh, yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you. And before we begin, I would like to just get some house cleaning issues out of the way. Is there anybody else who should be in this meeting?
Nope, just me today.
Perfect. And would 10 minutes be okay?
10 minutes is great.
Excellent. And one last thing, is it okay if I take notes during the meeting?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
please,
of course.
go
Thank
ahead.
you. So, how's your weekend?
Yeah, weekend was great, hung out with the kids, watched some football,
Did you see
usual.
the Patriots?
Saw the Patriots game,
Yeah,
a couple
big
weeks ago, that was a huge win. Are you a Pats fan?
Oh, I'm a big Pats fan.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, I love
to
them
hear.
a lot. And I didn't think they were gonna win at first, but
No, yeah, it looked a little dicey at first, but yeah, they blew them out.
that must have been great for your site too.
Oh yeah, we love that kind of stuff. Anytime you get the Brady Manning thing
Yeah.
going on, that's a really
That
good
rivalry's
story.
great for sports.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's excellent.
So tell me, what's the situation you're facing right now with the site?
Yeah, sure. The site's doing great overall, I would say. I actually joined the company fairly recently, so I don't have a ton of institutional knowledge about what we're up to. Is there anything specific you're wondering about?
Well, I mean, personally, I was just wondering, because you guys called us in and
Yeah.
you did cite a couple issues, like when it came to subscribers and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Also, like, a sort of experience. But I do want to hear, like, your opinion and obviously, like, what you're looking for from us and
Yep.
what kind of problems you're facing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so my boss, Luke, he's our chief digital officer. He wanted me to reach out to you guys actually under the advice of one of our consulting agencies. They're called Lightwave.
Mhm.
So I mean, the site is doing well. We've done a good job of increasing our readership. We get a ton of traffic. I think
Of
it's
course.
something like 500 million page views per month at this point,
Mhm.
with 100 million uniques. The problem we're starting to run into, and you might be this way too, like as a Boston sports fan.
Yeah.
Where people are going to these regional Boston sports blogs to get their information on the
Oh, really?
Pats and the Bruins and Celtics, Red Sox, the Revs even, maybe the Boston Lobsters, I'm not sure. But so they're going to these local sites, and we're finding that we have great national stuff, but we're not as good at recommending the regional stuff to people coming from specific places like Boston, for instance. And so I think because of that, we have a lot of people coming to the site, but then they leave pretty quickly. So some of the things that I'm sort of tasked with now, and things that Luke wants us to work on, specifically around increasing our page views, getting people to stick on the site a little bit longer, and we do make money off of advertising just with people on the site in general.
Mhm.
We also make money off of people signing up for subscriptions with us. That just gives us some extra advertising and marketing channels that way. So we want to try and increase that as well, and a lot of that comes back to just people spending time on the site.
Now, if I'm a consumer going on the SPO, what do you think my experience would be like on the site? Like, what kind of features could I expect?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So I mean, there's gonna be great content for sure. I would say it's just high level stuff, and so there's a lot of stuff you can see. You can see scores, you can see news stories like the Brady Manning stuff. So our guys are definitely gonna be writing a lot of information like that. Schedules for certain sports teams, information about specific teams and specific regions in different sports. So we really have it all. There's a lot there though.
And is there any like extra content or extra features that you offer your subscribers?
Yeah, they can jump on mailing lists for us, so we'll send them some VIP stuff that we don't give to just your run-of-the-mill average visitor from off the street.
And one last thing, have you like looked at any of the stuff that your competitors are doing, and maybe saw what they've had success in?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm actually not from this space, so I joined the company fairly recently. I'm starting to look into that kind of stuff. If you have any insight on what other magazines, people like that might be doing, I'd love to know. Because I'm starting to do some of that myself. So yeah, I'd love to know how they can fix this issue.
So, what I've been noticing lately, or what I can tell from what you've told me, is that obviously you're a very like large sports news media website.
Yeah.
But you have more of like a international focus on like international sports like football, rugby, soccer, and stuff.
Yeah, I mean we definitely have the
Yeah.
regional content. We definitely do, but yeah, we're covering everything though.
But on the other hand, because you're covering everything,
Mm.
you're not getting enough focus on something like the local sports and taking advantage of something like the local fervor.
Yeah.
And when you were talking to me about your consumer experience, I like the number of options that you give your consumers. I think that's fantastic because not a lot of sports sites really do that. But one of the ways we can improve on that is maybe possibly by like personalizing this experience.
Yeah.
Because as a company, the number one thing you want to do is keep your content relevant and
Sure.
keep your company relevant. Because that's where you make your money and that's where your business sticks around.
Yep.
However, when your consumers don't find your content to be relevant to them, they'll start to go to other companies who do find that. And one of the things that I've noticed, for example, is when I was researching a company and other companies, I went to a couple sites like WEI, for example, which is a local sports site in like the Boston area.
Oh, okay.
And one of the features that I noticed that they have is they have a feature where they'll actually offer articles based on what you choose.
Interesting.
And now, how this all plays into what we can do for you is this is exactly what Acquia does for its customers. At Acquia Lift, we specialize in giving you a system which can do three things for you: testing, targeting, and reporting.
Okay.
By testing, what we do is we implement the system and we get a feel for what consumers are going to. So for example, if I was a consumer coming onto SPO and you were to implement our system, and I go to like a Boston sports site, let's say I'm a hardcore Boston Celtics fan myself. So I go to a Boston Celtics site about Rajon Rondo. What would happen is it would flag Boston, it would flag Celtics, it would flag Rajon Rondo. The next time I go on the site, we move on to the targeting phase. It would target that consumer and segment them. And it can segment them through demographics, user profile features, locations, etc. And based on those, another window would pop up and it would give them more content that is more relevant to them. Meaning that if they see a page popping up with Rondo, they'd be like, hey, I like Rajon Rondo, I like the Celtics, let me go see this page too. And then another page pops up and they go see that, and then another page, and then so you start to see an increase in page views.
Sure.
And finally, we have reporting.
Yeah.
You know, marketing is all about data information, data and analysis.
Yep.
One of the best parts about Acquia Lift is we take this test that we've created, we take the results that we gained from the specific consumer that we segmented, and then we give you a system where you can report it and easily access it at any time. So you can plan your content better for your consumers and make it more relevant.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds interesting so far. I guess, I mean, one of my concerns is just around integration. So I mean, you're saying some of the right things. I mean, some of the things you're saying might help me with my problem here, but I mean, my team is strapped at this point. So I can tell you that. That's been one of the things I've noticed when I first got here. People are just completely stretched. Our team is not going to have a lot of time to integrate some sort of complex system. We simply do not have the time.
Of course. Well, you see, at Acquia, we are here to help our consumers. And one of the ways we do that is through the automation of our system. If we were to come to a deal and you were to obviously like implement our service, we have a 3-day grace period or integration period, where our specialists would work with your specialists to teach them how to use the system and how to implement it. However, the system itself is automated and it does all these things on its own. So you wouldn't have to waste too much time and money. Or, well, you wouldn't have to waste too much effort when it comes to implementing the system.
Okay, yeah, no, I guess that's good to hear. I mean, and I guess another problem for us though is when I think about our web budget, we do not have a line item for what you're describing. I don't even know what we categorize that as. So in terms of finding budget for this, it could be a challenge for us. I mean, what's the cost model look like for something like this?
Well, I can understand because cost is always a problem.
Yeah.
However, the real question here is what's your return going to be? Because obviously if you're going to make a decision, you want this to turn into profit and increase your profits as much as possible. Now, when it comes to Acquia and deciding our price, all of it is completely estimated based on your situation, what kind of sites you are, what kind of click-throughs you're going to see, and everything. However, we've had companies invest from $30,000 to $300,000 and see return on interest into even the millions within a year. And these are usually these like huge sites such as MSNBC, which we've worked with, NBC Sports. And judging from your site, you're a large site just like ESPN. National, internationally known, and you could be seeing return on interest and investments into that in that range.
Hey, and I agree. I'm all about the ROI. I mean, if you can show me an ROI, that's great. I mean, do you guys have any clients that, I mean, demonstrate some of the ROI you're talking about? Do you have any like clients that have any success metrics?
Of course. Well, the ones that immediately stand out are Toronto Life magazine, which were after implementing our system, they saw a 20% increase in page views.
20%. Okay.
Yeah, and also LA France saw a 20% click-through rate. So just use your imagination and try to visualize what kind of endorsement offers you could get from that. Even more subscriptions.
No, that's pretty compelling.
But I mean, it was good to meet you and everything, but
Yeah.
I would like to meet with you again and maybe some of your supervisors and meet with some of my people in order to just get like a much better idea of the situation and figure out how we can possibly help you, if you'd be interested.
Yeah, no, sounds great. I can loop in the rest of the team. I'd love to see a demo.
That sounds excellent. So when would be a good time for us to meet?
Cool. Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Yeah, sometime in the afternoon.
All right, well, Chris, it was very nice meeting you. Thank you for having me.
Joe, nice to meet you too. Thanks so much.
Before I leave, I would like you to have my card.